everybody. Stand up. Stand up. So good to see you this morning. Thank you very much. Thank you. Listen now, listen. 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 Catch hands with somebody. Reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out. Reach out. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. We come this morning as a gathered people. We come this morning trying to understand how we can be healthier brothers and sisters with each other. How we can love each other more, and how we can be more compassionate and understanding with each other. And how this may also translate out of our own communities to the nation, and not only to the nation, but to other countries and to the world. That some way it seems like we're always making decisions about going to war, Lord. And we now call upon those who would find a way of peace for all of us. And so we come this morning joining our hearts and spirits and soul and mind together, and we say, isn't there some way that we can stop it all? I think it is, Lord, with your help. But Lord knows we need your help. And so we come this morning joining hands. And we're going to go to an exodus, Lord. We're not going to be the same old people acting the same old way, doing the same old thing, thinking the same old mind. Lift us up this morning. Lift us up this morning so we can see better and hear better and talk better and understand better the conditions of the world. We call out in your name. Amen. Hallelujah. Right on. Shalom. Salam. Where have all the flowers gone? I want you to sing this with me now. Everybody, I want you to sing it with me. Where have all the flowers gone? Where have all the young men gone? Where have all the soldiers gone? Where have all the graveyards gone? Come on and sing it with me now. This is a song about peace and war. Oh yeah, words on the wall. Come on now. Oh yeah. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? Young girls pick them every one. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? your brothers and sisters. Embrace each other. Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you. Now, my brothers and sisters, I know it's hot in here, but you've been hot before. And if you haven't, you're at the right place to get hot. And on a Sunday morning at that, thank you very much for being here. May I now give you the Glide Ensemble.
Praise Him, I
for Ron, for Gail, raise your hand, Gail, for the Glide Ensemble, and for the band. Is that hot? Huh? Oh, yeah, yeah. We're going to do another one, but not right now. I think what I'll do, if you all ready, I'll make this statement. We're going to sing Study One or More real quick, and then I'm going to make my statement, and then we're going to come back and let them sing a number. So if you all are ready, I'm ready. Let's do going to lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I ain't gonna study for no more. I ain't gonna study for no more. I ain't gonna study. Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you. I was against the war in Grenada. I was against the war in the Panama Canal. I was against the Persian Gulf War. I am against an invasion going into Haiti. I am against it because it seems as though we as Americans get very arrogant when it comes to undeveloped countries. And we think that since we've got all the power, that people will be frightened to death. And so therefore, we usually wait until the last hour and say we're coming with our force. There are other kinds of forces in the world. And I think that we need to understand that sometimes we are morally and ethically wrong. And that we should not pursue the course of killing other folks or having our own folks killed. I'm sick and tired of seeing folks die at the hands of either the military, not because I'm against the military per se. I'm not against men and women. That's what I'm trying to say. But I'm against men and women sometimes being used to kill other folks and be killed themselves. I think that the world has to move ultimately to a new place where we value life so much that we will not take life. And so today, I'm sure that a number of, first of all, that my position is not accepted to a lot of folks, even a number of people who are members of the Black Congressional Caucus. But I'm going to take this position. When I came to this church, I was the only one taking a position, and they tried to run me away. Now, I don't know how many of you support what I'm saying, but I want you to know this. You got a right to your beliefs, and I got a right to mine. And I'm going to always stand against, I'm going to stand against people violating other folks. It's just it. You look at America today and you see how many young black men are having to go to jail. Or you look at the young people that are having, if not to go to jail, killing each other. I'm so sick of black folks killing black folks. I'm so sick of people having to go to jail because of violence. It is time for us to remember that we, if we are really human, must in fact find ways to be human by negotiating, by listening, by talking, and stop being so arrogant about what we do and how we do it. Therefore, I'm going to study war no more. I'm going to study war. I'm going to lay down my sword and shield. And I want the sword and my shield to become symbols of peace rather than of war. I don't know what's going to happen today. I hope that you will not only pray about it, but I hope that you will voice your opinion also, wherever you are. It doesn't have to agree with mine, but say whatever you stop. Don't try to get a consensus, okay? Consensus may not work sometimes, but I want you to remember this, that this church and those of us who are part of it will take our positions. We may differ because we are different, but one thing we'll always do is try to bring justice and righteousness and love and mercy into every situation where people will be healthy and they will have a quality of life and an abundance of life and not death. Thank you. Sing.
If you got food on your table, well, if you know that the Lord is able, come on and testify, tell it in the valley below. Come on and tell it everywhere you go. Don't be ashamed, God, to be a witness of love. Yeah. If you got shoes on your feet, if you got a voice to speak, come on and tell it now, tell it everybody you know. Why don't you tell it everywhere you go? To be a witness for the Lord. Yeah.
Come on, come on. Linda and Jean and Judge and come on, bring on up. We're gonna christen and baptize. No, we're gonna baptize, I guess this morning. Come on up here. Come up here. Come up here. Don't be standing there like you don't know me. Come on up here. Now, wait a minute, who am I baptizing? I'm not baptizing everybody. Who's being baptized? Who's baptized? These two. Okay. These two. Linda, where you walk back there? Well, come on up here where I can see you.
Linda, come on up here.
Come on. Who is this? Don't leave her down there. Any more down there? Never tell y'all something. This group I see quite often, okay? These right here, these four right here are like home folks. They really are. You know, you better not say nothing about me to any of them against me. I'm telling you right now, at least I know 4 people. You don't speak against me to these 4 right here. Okay? That's over the head of the car. That's I didn't know you were over there. I'm sorry. Now I got wait a minute. All of these. Don't ever say anything against me. In fact, all of them up here, to tell you the truth. We're going to hear all of them. I tell you, man, we have had more fun together because what we do is I came up on them when I needed help and they came up on me when they needed help.
Right. Amen.
Yep. And it's been difficult. But you should know the health, the quality of life, the recovery, the everything that's happened. They're really some, you know, these are what we call down home folks. You got any down home folks? Huh? If you have, here they are. I'm going to give you the whole batch here. We're all down home folks. That's one thing about this place. We're down home folks. Ain't nobody no better than nobody else. Wait, you didn't hear what I said. Because in some of these churches, there's some folks who are better than other folks. Not in this one, No, we're all awful and we're all good. There's nobody here that's perfect and nobody want to be. I tell you, I want to thank you for being the people that you are, because you helped me to not have to deal with a whole lot of stuff that ministers sometimes have to deal with. All this, well, anyway, let's get you all back. Come on up here. Let's see who's yeah. Whitney. Wait, is that right? Yeah. This is Whitney.
Yep.
Yeah. This your.
Yep.
Yeah, Billy. All right. Linda's grandbaby. Linda's grandbaby.
Yeah, boy.
God, man. Why y'all got the judge standing up here? So he can take care of you?
Don't answer that.
No, don't answer. This is the judge. And I mean, he's tough. He's a good dude. Good dude. Been with Glide for years. When it wasn't fashionable for a judge to be a member of Glide, he was a member of Glide, right? Let me get Whitney here, read it first. Hit Whitney. How you get up there? You go on the elevator over there. Sometimes I jump up there, too. Whitney and, what's her name?
Brittany.
Brittany. Whitney and Brittany?
Yeah.
Oh, we got Whitney and Brittany here. Come up here, Brittany. Come up here. I want both of you up here. Calvin too?
Oh, yeah.
Calvin, okay. Calvin been baptized about 10 times. Hasn't he? This is the one that walks up with me every Sunday. He walks up with me, you know. Yeah. Gonna be a great preacher one of these days, I know. When we engage in baptism or christening here, it is an act of liberation for us. It frees our souls and our minds and our hearts and our lives so we can grow together, so we can be together, so we can create a new community of people who really seriously love each other, have strong compassion for each other. So with your immediate family here, plus your extended family, we bring to you at this particular time the fact that we would like to baptize you and baptize you, first of all, in the name of the one who brings us creation and who brings us unconditional love. Secondly, we baptize you in the name of your family, your immediate, your kin folks here, all of these folks standing around here. And thirdly, we baptize you in the name of the Spirit that cleanses us and makes us whole, new again. Let us all say amen. Amen. Yeah. Come in now.
It didn't do me.
Wait, read it. Thank you for telling me, because it wasn't down there. I needed to know that. Billy, you've been on the road a long time, brother. How's school?
Doing pretty good.
All right, then. I baptize you in the name of, first of all, of the one who comes with not only unconditional love, but the one who comes to free us. Secondly, I baptize you in the name of those who are your kinfolks, your close friends, those who love you from the beginning to now. When you first started, brother. Amen. Yeah, amen. That's hard, and I know. Okay. And finally, I baptize you in the name of the Spirit that manifests through all of our lives and helps us to become something that we have never been before. Let us all say amen. Amen. Yeah. You want to wave? Want to wave? Wave at the folks. Go ahead, wave at the folks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Come in. I ain't never took that much time baptizing folks. You know I must love you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sister. He is. My man. Okay. Harvard. Thank you very much. Now let's move on. I want to take up the offering now. This is a good time to take it up. I want you to write your checks for your pledges and your tithe. The ushers are going to be coming by very soon. And I want to thank you for the gift that you give us, not only in your time and your effort and your commitment and your volunteerism, but also the money that you give, the finances that you give. Also, I'd like to thank you, those of you that helped Kenneth and Jackie and their 6 kids last Sunday. I'm going to have them stand in just a minute, but they were burned out of their place in one of the housing projects. And when the fire began, they couldn't go downstairs, so they went for the fire escape and discovered that the fire escape had a lock on it. And so they had to throw the children out the window. And there were some limbs broken, and one of the kids had to be in intensive care for a number of days. And I'm happy to announce that the child is doing very well now. But you gave them $1,000 last week. Stand up, Jackie. Stand up, Kenneth. There they are. They've been in our recovery program. We're very successful in our recovery program. At one time, we're on severe drugs. Now look at them. Not only that, but they've been through several of our programs. And Ken, I hired on the staff here. He is now on the staff, Kenneth is. And Jackie and Kenneth said that they are not going to have any more children right now. Come on, y'all, start passing the trays, will you, while I make my jokes. But I want to thank them for helping us to be sensitive and alert and to reach out. They're beautiful folks, beautiful folks. I'd like to also say that on October the 16th, the Glide Ensemble will be doing a live concert from this sanctuary beginning at 4 o'clock. The tickets will be available beginning midweek, and there are prime seats for those who give $25, and then prime seats for those who donate $10 early, and then those who come late, we hope you'll have a seat. But they will be $10 also. It is to help defray the expenses of this live CD and tape that we will be doing, and we'll do it on the 16th of October. On the 18th of October, which is a Tuesday night, Bishop Desmond Tutu will be here to speak. And I want you to know, members of the church, I'd have to do this because we're such a large group of people. Members of the church will get your ticket. We will have tickets, and it's free. But members of the church, and I'm not trying to get more members, even though I'd like to have more, but members of the church have a priority on the tickets. So they will, I don't know when they'll be available, but sometimes in the near future. We have books downstairs. My book, Jan's book, the children's book, the women's book that you can pick up. Was delighted to see one of the new books that just came out, that they had taken a chapter from my book and put it in their book. And I wish I could have gotten paid for that, but they didn't. So I'm just, just take it, go on. Jan she gets calls quite often about usurping, excerpting, what do you call it? Excerpting, thank you. Usurping, excerpting. Well, it is usurping too. Yeah, that's right. Is that too, isn't it? Yeah, usurping. She often gets calls about being in, people wanting her stuff to put in their book, books. We also have CDs downstairs and tapes downstairs. We have audio tape of this celebration. You can pick it up in a short time after the celebration this morning. We have videotapes of this celebration. You sign up for it and it will be sent to you in about 2 days. We have videotapes, some 12 videotapes of recovery programs we have here, programs dealing with HIV/AIDS that we have here, programs, women, men, all kinds of programs on videotapes. We're just finishing a new videotape on how we engage in our recovery here for drug abuse, because we've had so many requests for this to detail it, and we're going to detail it for you. In fact, it'll be probably ready in about 3 weeks. All kinds of tapes and T-shirts, and go downstairs. Come on, I'll see you down there in Freedom Hall. Immediately after the celebration today at 12:30, I'd like to have all of the kids, the young people who would like to sing in our children's group, please meet Ron here at 12:30. 12:30 in the children's room. It's on this floor. Go back to the children's center and meet him back there. Thank you. Is that it? I'm going to say something about membership. This church has been for the last 3 years one of the fastest growing churches in America. I want to thank you for that. This year we went down some. We've had over 800 members each year to join. People from all over. I just saw some people here at the 9 o'clock from England who are members of the church. We have people from Germany, people from Florida, people from Texas, even from Texas, y'all. We even got some from Mississippi. Some of them got, you wait till they go back and say, look, you ought to see our minister. And then they show my picture and say, look at our minister. They're going to have a hard time in some of those places. But anyway, it's a good time. It's a good time. Thank you very much. After we sing the last song today, go through that door, and there will be people there to greet you so you can become a part of our membership, our family, our extended family. All right. What did we sing? What did we sing? Thank you. Reedy and I would like to thank you, so many of you who know about the death of our father this week. Thank you for your responses. Thank you for letting us feel your love and your genuine concern. So we'd like to thank you so very much. Because we found out something. It'll all be over in the morning. Ain't no need to worry when the darkness comes away. It'll be all over in the morning. Ain't no need to worry when the night's gonna break. Sometimes I know when you lose somebody, it hurts very deeply. I got a call 6 o'clock on Friday morning from a woman, a mother, who said, I'm very depressed and I'm very down. And I need somebody to talk to this morning. I just need to know that it's going to be all right this morning. And I said, yeah. In the morning, it'll be all right. Going to the hospital this week. Several of you said to me you were. For those of you that have people that are sick, that are afflicted, for those of you that may have lost someone in death, or someone in separation, or just lost them because they've gone their way, I want you to hear me this morning. It'll be all over in the morning. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Reed. Thank you. Just this, I'll just keep it. It is hot, but I love it. Makes me feel like I'm preaching when I get all wet. I have been trying to say for the last 4 weeks that the most dreadful experience that most of us have is the fear that we have to live. I want you to know that I am not a God-fearing person. I feel that God loves me so much that I don't have to fear God. So I don't go around in fear of God punishing me. This is going to help some of you, I know. You know, God punishing me. I don't think God's got anything to get back at me about. You know what I mean? God hasn't got time to be spending on me, trying to make me feel bad, because God's been trying to catch me for a long time and can't catch me. You know, there's some folks who just always, they're just so afraid of God. I got to fear God. I got to fear God. No! God loves me so much that I can live even with the crying babies, you know. That's right. Keep her here, him here, whichever it is. See, my brothers and my sisters, what I'm trying to say is that the fear that we have comes from an illusion that we often embrace. And that illusion has to do with the fact that we are so minimal, we are so close to being a snap by the finger rather than an embrace of humanity, that the snap of the finger makes us feel so small, so much like nothing, that we need a God to make us even smaller. And I don't think that. So I don't have to be afraid of God. If I don't have to be afraid of God, then who do I have to be afraid of?
Amen. All right.
Huh?
Amen.
Whom shall I fear? Exactly. Whom shall I fear? Because God is my refuge and my strength, not my punisher. God is not my warden. God, I'm not in prison because of God. I'm in prison because my head is in prison. I'm a prisoner because I choose to be a prisoner. I think I've been freed for a long time. I don't act like it sometimes, but I've been freed for a long time. free to not be afraid, afraid to even take minor risks, minor steps. I said last week that Glide, first and foremost, is that kind of church, is this kind of church where people must take responsibility for who they are now, what happens to them at this moment. For me, that's the way it is. I ain't gonna blame you for something I know I'll be doing. Why blame you? Well, so I can escape for one thing, so I won't have to deal with it for another thing, so I can be in denial for another thing, so I can just get by. Folks just love to get by. We're the most getting by folks I ever met in my life. You know what I mean? I just want to get by. Just if I can just get by, if I can just get through. I've heard folks say, well, if I can just make it through today. You know what I mean? If I can just, Lord, just let me make it through today. And the Lord gonna just let you make it through today. No, Lord, I want you to walk with me and talk with me so I can make it through every day and every night. So I can be strong and faithful, and I can be truthful and honest and loving and open, so I can be different, so I won't be like some of these other folks. I don't want to be like some of these other ministers. I want to be like a Cecil Williams minister. That's what I want. I know some of you are going to ask, well, what is a Cecil Williams minister? Can't tell you. Just watch me. Just watch me. That's the Cecil Williams minister. One who doesn't fit into those little holes that ministers often make for themselves, or let members of the church make of them, or the other folks outside the church. But you a minister, you supposed to. What am I supposed to? When I came out of my mother's womb, she said, son, I'm so glad you're here. Now grow up and be somebody. I don't know how much that somebody I am, but I sure am growing, you know. Secondly, not only do I take responsibility, but what I must do is know that each moment for me, each experience, I must write my script. I will not let you write my script for me. I'm the script writer. If I'm going to get on the stage, then it's my story, not yours. You got yours, I got mine. Too long have I let somebody else write my story for me. You know, I shall never forget when I came out of seminary and they told me, said, Cecil, you better get married. As soon as you come out of seminary, get married. Because if you don't, you get into trouble. Heck, I was already in trouble. They ain't gonna tell me I had to get married so I wouldn't get in trouble. Been in trouble all my life. My God. And I listened to them. Jesus. And then they sent me to that first church they sent me to. Was no church at all. Ain't nobody out there. You go, listen, you can still go to New Mexico and there still ain't nobody out there, you know? Reservations, that's what's out there in New Mexico. I think Oprah has a place that she built out there somewhere. Oprah's place and reservations. You know? Sent me out there with it. And they said, you know, die. You got to go out there and grow. Well, don't send me someplace where nobody's growing. And nobody even has possibilities of growing. You know, I said to God, what I got? I said, Lord, look, let me tell you something. Here I got one suit to my name. And the third Sunday I was there, I was down. I don't do this now, but I was giving communion out. And while I was down on my knees, I got up and my pants ripped right on the leg, you know. And I'm standing up there with my knee coming through my, you know. And I just said to the folks, well, this is the last pair of pants I got. You know what I mean? So what I do is write my own script now. I'm not going to let nobody write my script. And the third thing that the church must do is what I talked about 2 Sundays ago. It must have unconditional love and unconditional acceptance. See, if you want to be an alternative in society, that's the best way I can put it, then you got to do something that most other folks are afraid to do. And that's love unconditionally and accept unconditionally. You start doing that and the word gets out. You ought to go over there because they do things not like other folks do. And I like doing things not like other folks. Because some of the things that other folks do, I gave up doing some time ago. And I don't want to go back to that same old stuff, because that same old stuff is enslaving. It hurts too much to go back to that same old stuff, because it keeps me, I'm stuck. I don't want to be stuck no more. And the fourth thing I said last Sunday was what we got to do as the church is have trust. If you're going to be a church, you got to trust folks. I know I'm getting under some folks' skin when I say that, because most of us don't want to trust. We are fearful of trust because we've been hurt so badly, because we've been through so much, because they did us in. They did us in. We don't want to trust because of what we've been through. So we stop trusting and we don't trust no more. Let me tell you what I think trust is. Trust is faith. And let me tell you about trust is faith. Faith, F-A-I-T-H, faith. I got the spelling stuff at the 9 o'clock, misspelled about 5 words. But anyway, I know what faith spells, F-A-I-T-H, I know that. And y'all help me if I get wrong on it, would you please? Faith. Faith means not what you believe. Faith is not what you believe. See, I'm breaking some new ground with you this morning and yet last Sunday. Faith is not what you believe, it's what you do. My faith is what I do. That's my faith. And that means that what I do is I got to give up something. I got to give up my old self so I can take on a new self. I got to take on a new heart and a new soul and a new spirit and a new understanding, a new mind, if you please. I got to have some courage that I haven't had before. I got to be able to do things like I've never done them before. That's faith. Faith just pushes me out there, just puts me out there. And I believe, by the way, I all of a sudden thought about faith when I thought about Ruth Jones, who was sitting over there last Sunday, and I was talking about faith, and she was shouting. So when she got downstairs, she said, "You stop that. You stop that. You hear? I've been here for years, and you upsetting me too much. You stop that." She said, I knew faith was that all along, and I'm feeling so good. So she calls me from the hospital on Monday morning, and she says to me, "You see what your faith did, man? It's upset me so much." She said, "It made me feel so good. Made me feel so good." Faith makes us feel so good because it puts us in a position of trust again. I'm doing something. I'm taking a risk, and the risk helps me to trust you and me. See, it's not believing, it's engaging. It's acting. It's taking a chance, taking the opportunity. It's being blessed. It's accepting the blessing that comes. All right, let me try something on you this morning. The problem we face now, a number of us are saying, to a large extent, is what is called by some writers and some theologians conventional wisdom. We are too conventional in our wisdom. and especially the church. You can always tell when a church is heavy with conventional wisdom, because what they start doing is they write up more rules and regulations. They make it more hard, they make it more difficult for you to just get up in the morning without feeling guilty. They make it more difficult for you to just love and care and appreciate. They make it more difficult for you not to feel like you're always subject to something that's going to stomp you out. They make it more difficult for you to think for yourself and to feel for yourself and to do for yourself. They want to do for you. They want to do for you. Watch the church that always wants to do for you, because they will do you out of you not doing nothing. And then say to you, well, we're going to get you on to heaven now. And I want everybody to know, if heaven is what I think it is, you better stay here for a while. Because we got a lot of work to do here before we start talking about where we're going to go. See, a lot of folks always, well, I'll just wait, I'll be there. Yeah, you'll be there, all right. You'll be there. Just wait, I'll be there. And we'll be there. See, our problem is that we want more laws. We want more laws so we can preserve ourselves. Self-preservation. It means that we want more rules and more regulations, so it will put us at a distance with what we got to do in the world. And the more we have upon us, the less we want to do. An alternative voice must be created, says Borg in his book, The Vision of Jesus. An alternative voice. I want you to know that I would like to feel like an alternative voice in American society today is Glide Church.
Amen. Oh, yeah.
Why? It is because we're not traditionalists. It is because we don't have to check out and see where the conventional wisdom, do we have to move so everybody will agree with what we're saying before we do it? No. We're going to differ. We're going to be different. We're going to act differently. But one thing we can do is that we can come together at points of understanding where when we get ready to make things happen to those who are suffering, those who are going through more than we have gone through, those who have no way out, those who see themselves oppressed and hungry and desolate, and those who have no place to stay, those who are walking around in a maze because their minds have given up on their bodies and said to them, I'm going out to lunch somewhere. Those this morning who are lonely and who need some talking to, and those who need a friend or a partner or a mate, those who need to be embraced, those who need to be told that they're loved, those who need to be told you accepted, come on in, this is your home. I tell you, my brothers and my sisters, we must be an alternative voice. We can't be like all the other churches if we're going to make it. We got to be like this church. That's what we got to do. I just got to tell you this. We went up to the annual conference of the United Methodist Church in June. Glide Ensemble and some of the members and myself. We went up there to sing and to preach. And this is one of the big conferences in United Methodism. Got up there, and I want to tell y'all, we had church. But we were told after we finished, and even now there are articles being written about it, the fact that Glide makes too much noise. And that go on. And that we're not spiritual enough. We're not religious enough. They're right. We're not religious enough. We're spiritual. We're not religious. I don't want to be. And they've written about 6 or 7 articles on us about the fact that, you know, white folks are singing like black folks. And that we got homosexuals. Yeah, we got homosexuals. Like they're going around checking on everybody, you know. Amazing. So I thought I would finish talking about this by going back to Ezekiel and the dry bones, the 37th chapter. Last Sunday, you remember I was saying that God set the prophet in the valley of dry bones and said to the prophet, go down in the midst of the valley. It was full of bones, dry bones. And they were very dry bones, says the writer. This is a beautiful story, by the way. And he said to me, son of man, daughter of daughters, can these bones live? And the prophets said, you know, God. What they were doing was going back to God, centering their attention and their commitment with God, because they know that if the bones are going to live, if God has given them the spirit to bring the bones to life, then we must make that connection always with God's spirit. They know that. So they defer back to God. You know, God. Behold, I will create breath to enter you, and you shall live. And I will lay sinews, power, that means, upon you, and will cause flesh to come upon flesh, and cover your skin, and put breath in you, and you shall live, and you shall know that I am the Lord. And so I prophesied as I was commanded, and I prophesied, and all of a sudden there was a noise in the dry bones, and then there was a rattling in the dry bones, and the bones began to come together, because the noise and the rattling indicated that the bones were coming to life. And I thought about the United Methodists who said, glide is too noisy. If you don't make no noise, you won't come to life. You gotta have some noise. You gotta rattle those bones a little bit. You know what I mean? Have you ever seen folks that's, well, we are now in the presence of God, and in God's presence we must be quiet. And God saying, wake up! Wake up! Get some breath in your body. Get a spirit about you. Rattle yourself and make noise about the bones coming together. After the bones came together, the prophet says that they could still see that there was something still missing. And so he turns to God and says, God, the life is not yet finished. And God says, well, I tell you what, I gave you the Spirit. Now you take it and give it to the bones. And the Spirit filled the body and the bones. And breath, which is spirit, breath came into the body. And life began. New life. New, not the old stuff, new life. And here's the writer. Beautiful stuff. Thus says the Lord God, behold, I will open your graves and raise you from your graves, O my people, and then I will bring you home. After I raise you from the grave, I'm going to bring you home. So